There's a certain kind of man you meet. He talks too much and yet says nothing. He thinks he's smart, but his words reveal something else: weakness, impulsiveness, and insecurity. A Stoic man understands that speech is a reflection of the mind. You can pretend to be confident, you can wear all the right clothes, but the moment you open your mouth, the truth comes out. The world listens not to your style, but to your sentences. And most men expose their stupidity not through their actions, but through the things they say. So today, let's talk about the 7 things a stupid man always says, and how a Stoic man avoids them. Because words, my friend, are not just sounds, they're mirrors of your soul. Number 1, that's not fair. You'll hear weak men say this all the time. That's not fair. When life doesn't go their way, when someone gets a promotion before them, when the girl they like chooses someone else, they cry out, "It's not fair." But here's the truth: fairness is a fantasy created by those who can't accept the reality of life. A Stoic knows life is not fair, and it's not supposed to be. The universe owes you nothing. You get what you fight for. You get what you become capable of holding. When you say, "That's not fair," you're basically admitting that you expected the world to adjust itself to your comfort. That's not strength. That's entitlement. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." The moment you stop expecting fairness, you start gaining power. A strong man doesn't cry about fairness. He studies the battlefield and adapts. He doesn't waste time complaining. He trains, he learns, he grows. Every time you want to say, "That's not fair," say this instead: "This is reality. Let's deal with it." That's how you go from being a boy to being a man. Number 2, it's not my fault. The modern man's favorite escape line. When things fall apart, when he fails, when he disappoints someone, he hides behind excuses. It's not my fault. My boss didn't help. My parents didn't teach me. She played me. But here's what every Stoic knows: even when it's not your fault, it's still your responsibility. Blame is for the powerless. Accountability is for the strong. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." A stupid man reacts. A Stoic man responds. The stupid man believes the world controls him. The Stoic man knows he controls his interpretation of it. When you say, "It's not my fault," you surrender your power to change. You declare that you are a victim, and victims never win. The moment you stop blaming, your mind sharpens. You stop wasting energy defending your weakness and start building your strength. The world doesn't respect perfection. It respects ownership. Number 3, I already know that. One of the most dangerous phrases a man can say, because the moment you believe you already know, you stop learning. Stupid men say this to protect their ego. They fear looking ignorant. So instead of listening, they interrupt. Instead of asking questions, they argue. But a wise man, a Stoic, knows that even in the most familiar lessons, there's always something new to learn. Seneca said, "While we teach, we learn." That means even the teacher keeps growing. When you say, "I already know that," you close the door to growth. But when you say, "Remind me again," you open yourself to mastery. Remember this: the fool talks to prove himself. The wise man listens to improve himself. Even if you've heard something 100 times, hear it again with new ears, because maybe this time it'll hit deeper. Number 4, I don't care. You hear this one everywhere. Men say, "I don't care," to sound strong, but it's fake strength, born out of emotional laziness. A Stoic man practices detachment, not indifference. There's a difference between not being controlled by something and not caring about anything. When you say, "I don't care," you close off your humanity. You shut down the ability to connect, to understand, to lead. The Stoics cared deeply about justice, about virtue, about discipline, about the world. They just didn't let those cares own them. A stupid man says, "I don't care," because caring requires effort. A Stoic man says, "I choose what I care about," because effort is sacred. Detachment doesn't mean numbness. It means control. Number 5, I can't help it. Another poison disguised as honesty. You'll hear weak men say this when they lose control of their temper. when they cheat, when they make bad decisions. I can't help it, but you can. You just won't. That's the difference between weakness and self-mastery. A Stoic man trains his impulses. He doesn't obey his emotions, he commands them. When you say, I can't help it, you're telling the world that your desires, your anger, your urges are stronger than your mind. And if that's true, you are a slave. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." So the next time you want to say, I can't help it, remember, that's exactly how your lower self wants you to think. Because if you believe you're powerless, you'll stay that way. But the truth is, every man has a choice. The choice to pause, to think, to redirect his energy. Control is the ultimate flex. Number 6, what's the point? This is the language of a man who has already given up. You'll hear him say this when things get hard, when the results don't come fast enough, when life feels meaningless. What's the point? But a Stoic man knows meaning isn't found, it's created. There's no point waiting for you. You make it. Through discipline, through purpose, through consistency. When you ask what's the point, you're really asking for permission to quit. But life doesn't give you permission. You either stand tall in the storm, or you drown. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." You want purpose? Act with purpose. You want meaning? Show up for yourself every single day, even when it hurts. The stupid man wants instant results. The Stoic man wants long-term mastery. Number 7, that's just who I am. The final, and perhaps the most dangerous sentence of all. That's just who I am. It sounds confident, but it's not. It's the language of a man who has stopped evolving. It's what people say when they don't want to change, when they've accepted mediocrity as identity. A Stoic knows the essence of life is change. You're supposed to grow. You're supposed to improve. You're supposed to die as a better version of yourself than the one that was born. When you say, that's just who I am, you chain yourself to your past. But when you say, I'm working on it, you unlock your future. Growth isn't about rejecting who you are. It's about refining it, sharpening it. You can be a man of discipline, wisdom, and peace, but only if you stop defending your weaknesses as if they were your personality. A stupid man talks without thinking. A Stoic man thinks before he talks, and sometimes he chooses silence. The silence of a disciplined man is louder than the noise of 1,000 fools. The more you evolve, the less you need to prove. The less you react, the more control you have. So start today. Eliminate these 7 phrases from your vocabulary. Stop saying, that's not fair. It's not my fault. I already know that. I don't care. I can't help it. What's the point? That's just who I am. Replace them with these instead. I'll adapt. I'll take responsibility. I'm still learning. I choose what matters. I control myself. I'll find meaning. I'm becoming better. That's the language of power. That's the language of a Stoic. Because at the end of the day, your words shape your reality, and your speech reveals who's in control, your emotions or your mind. The stupid man reacts. The Stoic man responds. And that difference is everything. So, next time you're tempted to say one of these phrases, pause. Ask yourself, is this coming from my ego or from my reason? Because one builds your future, the other destroys it. And remember, a man who controls his words controls his world. Be that man. Be Stoic.